to come on the show this morning and address the people. We put in the ask, so we'll see. It's the second day of September, Wednesday, in the KUAM News Zoom room. Dave Dell'Isola from the Department of Labor. Thanks for joining us, Dave. Good morning.
Hi, Dave.
Good morning, Sabrina, Chris. How are you guys doing today?
We're okay. How about you?
Hanging in there.
Yeah.
So much work to do.
Right.
Just keep going. But
So, can you?
hanging it out.
Yeah. Well, I guess then we'll just start with just bring us up to speed with where you guys with claims and
Sure.
payouts.
Well, as we speak, we have about $9.75 million hitting the banks as to all the claimants. So that's a little bit of good news. And that brings a total of $324 million that we've given out in the last 3 months. So that's a huge amount of money being injected back into the economy to help everybody survive and get by, pay their rents and stuff. So I'm quite proud of the accomplishment, considering we never had this program, or heard of this program since March, and we stood it up and managed to get out hundreds of millions of dollars. And we continue to keep moving forward. As you know, we're a little swamped since we went into PCOR 1. A lot of the staff that we initially had to handle the tidal wave of claimants have gone back to their agencies, and we've reduced in size. And previously, you knew that we were out in all the libraries. We were seeing claimants with problems, new claimants, and we were really chipping away at that mountain of problems, and we were making good progress. And then, of course, now that we're back in PCOR 1, we're back with the flood of calls with 1/3 the staff that we normally have. So we are answering phones. We are doing as best we can, considering we're in PCOR 1. We have the call center up. We are taking calls at 735-0527 through 32, and of course 311 option 6. I know it's tough to get through, and I know people are complaining, but you can just imagine we've had tens of thousands of people just get unemployed in one fell swoop, and they're all trying to call in now. And our people are just doing the best they can. It's nonstop on the phones from 8 to 5. I do want to say that I did get a letter the other day that the U.S. Department of Labor is looking to give us an additional over $200,000 to help fight the effects and prevent fraud, ID theft, and recover overpayments. So I'm happy to get that a little bit of an injection to assist us with the overwhelming amount of fraud claims that we're getting, and trying to fight that and trying to keep that down to a minimum. Of course, today we're going to submit the lost wage assistance program, which is Trump's program. We hope to get that in, and that'll inject another $22.5 million is what we're asking for. And this is for the 3 weeks from July 26th to the August 15th that they're initially awarding this to. And then after that, they will do every week, depending on how much the budget holds up. So as it looks now with all the states, they're looking at maybe 4 to 6 weeks of funding. And but they're allotting the first 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So we're going to send that application in today. I do want to tell you that this morning I'm going to be giving opening remarks with the governor and Mary Okada and Senator Regine at the GCC Workforce Opportunity Reimagined Conference. Mm-hmm. I want to make a shout out to all those people out there that are unemployed or furloughed, that this is the time for you to think about seriously what you're going to do next. Do you want to stay in the same job that you have, or do you want to try to take an opportunity to get retrained and go into a demand occupation there is lots of money out there for training. We've applied, and I hope to get over $12 million in dislocated worker grant. Keep our fingers crossed that we will get awarded somewhere around that dollar amount. And I just want to say the early bird gets the worm. And this money will be used to help people get trained. There are so many jobs out there, from ship repair to any type of construction, to heavy equipment operations, to bus driving, to tech, to billing and coding. There are so many opportunities for you to go in and get a different job, a good paying job, and get trained where it's not going to cost you anything. Now's the time to do that. While you're sitting there, start to think about, what do you want to do next? And this conference starts this morning, and it's for 3 days. So I encourage everybody to log on, and you'll hear some of the opportunities that could help you get a new career and get you into a new job. And if you want to stay in the same job, then you're going to have to retool yourself. You're going to have to upskill yourself. You want to be able to be hired and do 3 or 4 different things so that you become more valuable with at your workplace, because they're going to have to do more with less, and that means you're going to have to do more with less. And when you become cross-trained in different aspects of your company, that makes you more valuable, and you'll be one of the first ones to get hired, rehired. So I encourage you to look at all that stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on. We also hope that Congress meets back and extends the FPOC or gives a new stimulus. We'll keep our fingers crossed with that, but we're gearing up to try to open up this third program, this lost wage assistance, and get that. We still got to figure out how we're going to fit that into our program, our PUA program, but we'll work that out. Well, that's a mouthful.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great that, you guys are offering these training programs, and the GCC is holding this conference. But for many people looking further down the road, they're looking at possibly not having jobs. And I know that you had estimated 35,000 claims to be filed for people that have been impacted by COVID. But now that we're in this second surge, and tourism isn't looking so great, one can only assume that we're looking at more and more people that are going to be losing their jobs. And so, having said that, what is the Guam Department of Labor doing to address, I guess, this surge of unemployment?
And that's exactly what our symbiotic relationship with GCC. They're going to be our training partners. I encourage people to start. It starts with them. They have to rethink, what do they want to do? Do they want to get trained into a different occupation? There are areas on Guam that are still hiring, that are still in big need. For this buildup, they estimate at any one time there could be 400 trucks on the road trying to build the $8 billion in the next 10 years. And that's going to require a lot of truck driving, a lot of containers coming into the port. There's opportunities to get trained to be truck driving, heavy equipment operations, medical billing and coding. There's opportunities there. Technologies is there. There are so many different types of opportunities for you to take advantage of if you want to get up and get aggressive and get trained. There's not an endless amount of dollars, and those who are first in line and who are taking it seriously can get the money to get trained for free. And that's what we're trying to get out there. I'm trying to get the dollars in. I'm trying to get the schools and the training providers ready to help you decide and give you opportunities to get into a new occupation where you can get a career instead of just a job. And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, thank you. I think people needed to hear that. And so, one of the other things about this conference is the fact that they're going to be having a virtual, is it a virtual job fair? Is that right?
Yes.
On Friday. For more information for people, Jason, you have the link?
Yeah, hey, Dave, Jason here. While you were mentioning the conference, the workforce opportunities reimagining conference, everybody, again, absolutely free and open to the public. We highly advise that you go check it out. Everything that Dave's saying is absolutely true, and we put the link in our comment stream. So, guys, go in there and then register. Once again, it is free for you to attend, and it is chock full of information. You're going to come away with this with more knowledge about how you can possibly find a better job, how you can take care of your family, and you, as Dave was, saying over and over, I mean, a chance to improve your skill set to take care of yourself and the ones you love. So there is the registration link in there, Dave, and thank you guys for putting this on.
Dave, we had a comment here. Let me go back a little bit. Speaking for my daughter who had worked part-time as others, their company hasn't put their names on the list that I believe they were supposed to submit. Their names who got furloughed since they're in PCOR 1. They can't get that furlough or separation paper, but only have a check stub and proof of ID, but have their hands tied because their work is closed. So in that case, Dave, are they able to just self-certify?
Yes, that's exactly right. And we'll circle around, or they can circle around when the business opens up and get that letter. But no, it's just show your check stubs, and it'll tell you there where was your last check and what you're doing, and that you self-certify that the information is true and correct under federal law. And like I said, when the business does open up, or the person, you can always call your boss if you can, like it's not necessary, and they can write something up and fax it to you, take a picture of it, send it to you, get creative. But all those things strengthen your claim. It's not necessary for you that you have to have it in order to apply. So I just say get as much information as you can to get together, put it into your claim, and submit it.
I wanted to follow up on the fraud. Do you have any numbers or information on just how many fraud claims you guys have been forwarded to the feds for investigation, or how much in fraud claims were actually paid by DOL, and then you came to realize, okay, this is this was wrong?
We get hundreds of fraud a day, and the ones that we've forwarded to the feds are the ones that are a little bit more prevalent, and especially the identity thefts. We do have some instances of people's identities without them knowing. Somebody used all their information and put in a PUA claim. And when we contacted the person, they had no idea. And they were kind of blown away that their information was in all their personal social security numbers, where they live and this and that, and was in those claims. Those are the ones that we've forwarded to the feds for their look at. And then the more obvious, some of the hundreds of fraud claims have had some similarities. So we forward those things over, and what they're doing with it, we're not digging in. We're letting them do what they need to do, because all I'm trying to do is catch the fraud, push it to the side, and continue on with the payments so that we can keep getting the money out to our people.
Right. You said you guys were getting 200,000 from the feds?
We're getting over 200,000, like 210 or 20 to help fight fraud and to recover overpayments. And this is the part that is probably the worst part of my job, is recovering overpayments. And that's where it's going to get ugly, because you got some people out there that think that because they were unemployed, that they went in, they applied, and they got the money, but then we found out that their unemployment isn't because of COVID. and they have to pay back that money. And of course, they get angry, and it gets pretty ugly. But I don't make the rules. I'm not a judge. It's black and white, and if the reason that you're not working is because of another reason, but it has nothing to do with COVID, then you don't qualify for this program. And if you get paid, then you're going to have to repay that money back. And that's where people can get pretty angry, as rightly so. And that's going to be the worst part of this whole job, is trying to get those monies back. But I have to run a clean program, or the feds aren't going to give us any money. And that's why they're giving me $200,000 to fight fraud, to help overpayments and ID theft, because they see it as a rampant problem. And they're requiring me to step up, and our people to step up and try to collect it. I do our best to try to stop it before it goes out. But when you're paying tens of thousands of claims, every week to every other week, it's difficult to catch every single one. And,
Was it the feds that put you on notice, or Department of Labor on notice, that there was a problem with overpayments?
No. This is going out nationwide.
I see.
Believe me, we run a much cleaner program than any of the states are. And I'm not bragging, just by nature, because we're a little smaller than the states. The states get millions of claims going in a day. We get hundreds. And when we make a payment, we can effectively go through, 70% of the claims and try to do a cursory review and pull and try to stop those ones that look fraudulent, where in the states it's impossible. I mean, you got, some states that are close to $1 billion in fraud, and it gets really crazy. But they see that a lot of the frauds that are coming in, and a lot of the frauds are off-island attempts that are coming in, trying to take advantage of our system and trying to get a check. And they're slamming us nonstop. And they are honing in and making it look as local as possible. And it's getting harder and harder to pick them out. But we're doing our best. And the second wave that's hit us is diverted more my resources over to taking claims, to helping problems, and getting that out.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any numbers on those overpayments, Dave? Like,
what's that?
Do you have any numbers on those overpayments? Like how many people have had or who have overpaid, who have been overpaid?
Not yet. That's what we're hoping to get this money, so that I can get some staff in, so we can start kind of getting organized with it. It's there. It needs to be kind of worked on to get it organized, and I'm concentrating on just trying to get the money out. We're pushing the fraud numbers. We're pushing the overpayments. I have a division that we're standing up, and we're just waiting for the approvals from USDOL on all the forms and the process and the methodology. And we're almost at the stage where we're going to go ahead and implement now and start to get those notices going out. It's the whole process.
Dave, we had a question here from Sereno. Just filed a second claim, but I got a response saying error occurred. How do I edit, or is there a number to call to correct that?
Yes. And this is probably the system that we have, remember, works together with an unemployment system. And we don't have one. So it's ripped out. And so you got these holes in our PUA system because they're supposed to be filled together. And it doesn't work well when somebody goes back to work for like a month or so, and then they get re-unemployed, and then they go back in. They have to go back from the beginning and apply for each of those weeks. We've been working for the last 2.5, 3 weeks with the software vendor to try to find a fix that'll make it easier for those people to go back in and not have to go through all those weeks. And it's hard for me to tell the person right off the bat what their problem is with the limited information, other than to do their best and We're working on a fix. I don't know if that'll come fast enough. But yes, call the 735-0527-232 or the 311 option 6. I know it's going to be busy, but start early and keep trying your best, and we'll get to you eventually. Remember, we're not there yet as far as paying in the August, so you got some time, and hopefully by the time in the next, hopefully this week or so, I have a software vendor working tirelessly to try to come up with an easy fix for those people to come back in and file just for these August months. And it's not as easy as I hoped it would be.
Yeah. Dave, I know you're talking about the phones, but and I know you said you're getting the complaints, but we got a guy here, Ron, has been calling for 2 weeks. Is that, what do you say to those people?
I feel bad. I just not, like I try to tell you, when we first started this, I had close to 100 people working on this, and we're down to like 30 some. And we thought we were in recovery, and most of those people went back to the government. And we have a core group of people that were out in the libraries handling to people. The lines were being handled, everything was being handled well. And then this kind of stepped back and hit us. We don't have the manpower. And all I can say is that with the people that we have, they're on it nonstop, every day from 8 to 5. There's just, as soon as they hang up the phone, they just pick it right back up again, and they just keep going and going and going. So, and this is not somebody I can just bring back and train. It takes 3 weeks or more to train a person on the system to be able to effectively learn how to go in and fix somebody's claims. And they need not only training, but they need a certain level of confidence that I need to have, because they're going into somebody and seeing all their personal information. So it's not easy dealing with it, but we're just doing the best that we can. Mm-hmm. Keep trying, dialing those numbers.
Dave, can real quickly, if you could just provide more information on the release that you sent yesterday regarding the school closures. And
I asked for guidance several weeks ago, because I know that the schools, this is not something just happening on Guam, but happening nationwide, especially with a lot of parents with a lot of kids, and that fits Guam perfectly. What do they do when the schools are basically closed and you're going online, or 3 or 4 days a week you're going to school, but then you're not? How do you do, daycares are closed. You're the only one taking care of your kids, and when they're home, you have to be home. So I asked the question, are they able to be, what options do they have? And initially, they were saying that they weren't going to be qualified for our program, and the lawyers were getting a hold of it. And then I, basically were saying that, this is not something that's their fault. And they revisited it. And I think it's probably happened to some of the attorneys back in the States, in their own families, that they were affected. So they miraculously kind of did a turnaround where, if you have to be home and take care of your kids, then you could qualify for my program. You could also qualify for the Family First Coronavirus Response Act, and that's something that could help you too. So if you need to be home, and if you had to, leave your work and take care of your kids during this time period, then you could qualify as a valid COVID reason for my program.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Dave. Is there anything else you wanted to get out to the community?
No, I look forward to having everybody listen to me speak again at the GCC Workforce Opportunities. I'll have some valuable gold nuggets of information to instill to the public, and I encourage everybody to listen. There are new ways of getting shorter boot camps, 12-week programs to get these different types. It doesn't require you to get 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. There are many different ways of you to look and re-skill yourself, retrain yourself into new occupations. And those who are get up and get out there and be aggressive can take advantage of these dollars. And I'm encouraging everybody to do that.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
For those of you who are wanting to participate in that conference, just the link is in the comments, so you can just scroll up, or it's just guamgcc.edu, and you'll find the information there.
All right, break
So
a leg,
please
Dave.
take advantage of the program.
Thank
Thanks,
you, guys.
Just imagine everyone's in their underwear.
Yes. You guys take care of yourself and be safe.
Okay. I'm sorry, Bree, but that's some way back in my radio career. Someone gave me that advice. They said, hey, if you're nervous and you're hosting something, just imagine everyone's in the crowd is in their underwear. And then, so I did that. And then people in the crowd were like, what are you staring at? It's 7:08. Let's go to the phones here real quick. We got Dr. Hoa Wen of the Physician Advisory Group standing by, but I wanted to get Nanette on, who wants to share some issues she had with COVID-19 testing, Nanette, and then we'll get you on, and then maybe Doc could kind of help us out.